about your hiring process. Like what you look in the candidate. If I want to get hired by you and I'm a young dev, what are things I should do to, impress you?
I would say a lot of that boils down to soft skills and hard work.
Hmm.
So I I learned the hard way that communication skill, communication skills are, I mean, as much as our job is hard skill based, right? It's like, okay, you're amazing programmer, you know all these practices, you know this language really well. The the top of the top are the ones that not only they are able to kind of like get master the hard skills, but they're also able to communicate why, and they're also able to explain what they're doing, kind of like how things are connected. Are they system thinkers, right? That's the thing that I look for. Like, not only you know how to write code, you understand how that impacts like every single thing. Like that, how does that impact the CI/CD pipeline? How does that impact the users, right? Is the one that is able to think about kind of like the consequences, like the second and third level of consequences of that code or of that thing, both in the business side and also on the system, civil system side. And hard work. And I watched the episode that Louis was here a couple of weeks back, right? And he said something that is really to the core of something that I believe is that your extracurricular activities speak by themselves, right? And I I know is not something that a lot of folks like to hear, right? But I'm a strong believer that if you're not, especially early in your career, if you're not working extra hours, it doesn't mean extra hours for the company. If you're not putting a part of your weekend or a part of your nights to read books, to like do some open source, to kind of like do trainings, to you're not gonna get to a level of people that are able to get there.
True.
So I look for that. But I think the most important thing is like how quickly are you able to learn, like all those things are important. But if I had to boil down is how else someone is able to communicate, to collaborate, and are they putting effort, are they really, and I know passion about it is not the best way to phrase it, right? But it is something that I all the effort that I put on my career, on weekends, on nights, on like it was the way that I see people growing kind of like 10x.
Right.
That is actually a quote from a Brazilian writer that I is like one of my personal philosophies. He says the following kind of like success is built working on nights and weekends. During the day, you do what everybody does. I don't know anyone who has achieved their dreams without sacrificing holidays and Sundays at least 100 times.
True.
Is I'm as much as I don't want anyone to work extra hours. I don't want them to be doing the like projects on their nights and weekends. That should never happen, right?
True.
But it's like in order to master the crafts of programming,
Yeah.
it's really hard for you to just be doing like 9 to 5 and moving on. But that's not a polite way to ask, right? So you
True.
try to find clues that someone has that energy, is like putting that effort. Is
Right.
like, and is I have seen, I can tell you an example. I had 3 years ago, I had two recent grads that joined around the same time, like beginning of January, right? Out of school, fresh, joined exactly the same cross-functional team and exactly the same salary, everything. One was like treating the job as a kind of, okay, I'm done with college. Now I can kind of like move on with my life and I'm going to do the bare minimum here. And the other one was like, give me more, give me more. Okay, what books do you recommend? Can I talk to these people? Who can mentor me? Who like,
He was hungry.
oh, like he was hungry and
Yes.
he was taking more and more.
Right.
And kind of like first month, you would not see a difference. Second month, third month, you already could see in every single metric that you could look at, right? The And he's like, is it putting, and I don't know how much was because this person was putting a lot of extra hours and was passionate about things, or if it was because he was like doing the most he could,
Right.
like on 9 to 5, right?
True.
Talking to multiple folks, like, and that is a side of me that believes no, it's because this person was doing some, putting some extra time, and that shows a lot. Another part for me, maybe if someone that if was using that 8 hours a day really effectively could probably achieve the same results or even achieve more than
True.
this person did.
True.
But is really rare. Is really rare. Like, and it's like if you really want to grow in your career, I believe two things. One is you have to put extra hours in the first 5 years, and two, you need to change jobs every 2 to 3 years on the first 10 years of your career.
True.
And I can tell why. Because if you get comfortable in one place,
Yeah.
you're not going to learn as much, and you're not going to go to the same cycle of proving yourself, learning a new domain, learning a new language, talking to different kind of people, right? So I strongly recommend if you are kind of like an engineer that's just starting, don't stay in the same company for more than 3 years. I think it's going to slow down your career in so many ways. Unless I would say you're changing enough, you're being challenged, you're moving, the company is on exponential growth, then I would say it is a reason to stay. But if you're kind of like staying flat and comfortable and you see you're doing less and less things, you already build some morale in the company, I would say it's time to change again. Every time you're too comfortable, you have to change, especially early in your career.
True. True. Now, very, very good advice. Specifically, I see, yeah, in the start of your career, if you are in software, 9 to 5 is not the thing. It does not mean that you will not have, work-life balance. You can have that. But in this industry, I feel the software, it's moving so fast. Whatever you learned 3 months back is already obsolete. So you have to keep up, keep changing yourself and move fast. So completely agree with your advice here. So Tiago,